Hello and welcome to your favorite weekly program on science and technology related news, Science Monitor. Before we move ahead, let's take a look at the headlines. Universal immunization program to be soon initiated to reduce the child mortality rate in the country. Mars orbiter mission successfully completes 75% of its journey. The most recent report on the state of forests in India released. Designing high-performance green buildings. We will see how the innovative fluoride detection kit can be used to detect fluoride in your drinking water. And in the segment in focus, we will discuss about common infections during monsoon and their prevention. And now news in details. Under the Universal Immunization program aimed at reducing the child mortality rate in India, Indian children will soon be vaccinated with 3 new vaccines, including the indigenously developed rotavirus vaccine. Here are the details.
In a crucial announcement aimed at improving the healthcare sector of the country, government has announced the introduction of 4 new vaccines. This step is a part of Universal Immunization program. The program aims to reduce child mortality by 2/3 by next year and meet the global polio eradication targets. The new vaccines are the rotavirus vaccine, rubella and injectable polio vaccine for children, and an adult vaccine against Japanese encephalitis for districts with high level of the disease. The rotavirus vaccine has been indigenously developed under a public-private partnership by the Ministry of Science and Technology and the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The vaccine works against rotaviruses known to cause diarrhea, which is estimated to kill 80,000 children each year in India. This vaccine is planned to be introduced in a phased manner. The second vaccine is against rubella, which causes severe congenital defects in newborns like blindness, deafness and heart defects. It is estimated that nearly 2 lakh babies are born with congenital defects each year in the country. The third vaccine for children is the injectable polio vaccine (IPV) to ensure multiple protection to the children along with oral polio vaccine. The IPV is being introduced in India along with 125 countries in a globally coordinated manner. While these vaccines are aimed at reducing the mortality and morbidity among children, the fourth is an adult vaccine against Japanese encephalitis. The vaccine will be introduced in 179 endemic districts in 9 states. The recommendations to introduce new vaccines have been made after numerous scientific studies by the National Technical Advisory Group of India, NTAGI. NTAGI is the nation's prime scientific advisory body on immunization. While many of these vaccines are already available through private practitioners at relatively high prices, this step will ensure the accessibility and affordability of these vaccines to all the people.
Citizens residing in almost 17 states of the country are currently being forced to consume fluoride-contaminated drinking water. The excess of fluoride in water leads to serious health defects comprising dental and skeletal health. Now, in a major turning point, scientists of the Bhabha Atomic Research Center have come up with a highly cost-effective, simple-to-use fluoride detection kit for households. Take a look.
Fluoride content in groundwater had emerged as a serious global concern. Fluoride contamination of groundwater is widespread in India and is estimated that nearly 90 million people, including 6 million children in 200 districts in 15 states, suffer from the effect of fluoride contamination. Excess of fluoride in drinking water leads to a condition called fluorosis, which results in damaged and discolored teeth and bone disorders. The only way to prevent the intake of fluoride-contaminated water is to identify the fluoride levels in water. According to the researchers, the safe level of fluoride in drinking water is 1 mg per litre. In order to test the presence and levels of fluoride in the drinking water, the National Centre for Compositional Characterization of Materials (NCCCM) at Hyderabad under the Chemistry Department of BARC has developed an innovative fluoride detection kit.
The fluoride detection, which is developed in chemistry group, now is circulating all over the country, particularly as you know that there are 15 states in the country which have the fluoride problem. And it's a very simple kit which can be used to detect fluorine and determine whether the water is safe for drinking or not.
The kit is based on visual detection of safe levels of fluoride. Easy to use and understand even by a layman, the procedure involves minimum materials and adding a specific amount of kit reagents to the water sample to be analyzed. The kit reagents consist of 100 ml bottle of FDK reagent, 100 ml bottle of dilution reagent and 3 standard color solutions to be used 5 ml in each in polypropylene test tubes provided. The reagents, on reaction with the fluoride in the water, instantly develops a color which can thus be easily identified using a color chart provided in the kit. Water sample can thus be categorized as being safe, marginal or unsafe for drinking.
So, fluoride is a major contaminant in our country. Almost 15 states are affected. So, we have developed a very simple technique by which you can determine the safe and toxic levels of fluoride. There is no need for an instrument. You can just by seeing a color, you can tell whether this particular water is having a fluoride contamination or not. So, it is safe for the people to use the water for drinking purposes.
This kit by NCCCM overcomes the limitation of the other presently available fluoride detection kits in the market in terms of cost and ease of use.
तो इससे पहला कभी भी ग्राउंड वाटर चेक करना बोले तो एनएफसी कंपनी वाला आके ईयरली वंस टेस्ट कर रहा था. इससे पहला वो फ्लोराइड कितना परसेंटेज है बोल के बॉडी में उधर इधर वो बार्क वाले इन लोग किट को अच्छा कम दाम में डेवलप करके कम दाम में पब्लिक को दे रहे हैं. तो एक वाटर टेस्ट करना बोले तो 10 to 15 पैसा खर्चा होता बोल के अभी साफ लोग बोल रहे. तो ये पब्लिक को बहुत यूजफुल है बोल के हम लोग समझ रहे. तो ये किट को यूज़ करना बोले तो अनएजुकेटेड्स भी और वो बूढ़े लोग भी यूज़ कर ले सकते. 4 ml वाटर में 1 ml ड्रॉप डाल के वो कलर को फाइंड आउट करके उसमें कितना फ्लोराइड है, प्यूरिफाइड वाटर कौन सा है भी हर एक कॉमन मैन भी पहचान ले सकता.
NCCCM is providing the method of preparing the reagent, assembling the kit, the complete testing procedure as well as the science behind it as FDK know-how. Researchers of NCCCM have been visiting the villages of Hyderabad and demonstrating the use of the kit to promote the detection of fluoride in water and prevent dental and skeletal disorders.
Last Tuesday saw the release of the most recent report on the state of forests in India. The India State of Forest Report 2013 states that there has been an increase of 5.871 square kilometre of the country's forest area since 2011. Let us have a look at the report.
Bringing encouraging news, the India State of Forest Report 2013, which was released on 8th of July, has reported that there has been an increase of 5,871 square kilometers of the country's forest area since 2011. The India State of Forest Report 2013 contains information on forest cover, tree cover, mangroves cover and growing stock inside and outside the forest areas. Special thematic information on forest cover such as hill districts, tribal districts and northern eastern region had also been given separately in the report. This issue of the report carries special chapters on important characteristics of India's forest, trees in agroforestry system and urban tree resources. According to the report, even as moderately dense forest areas have depleted due to population increase, grazing and encroachments, the country still has large tracts of forest accounting for 40% of the forest cover. According to the report, the total forest cover of the country is 69.79 million hectares or 21.23% of the geographical area of the country, while the tree cover is estimated to be 91,266 square kilometers or 9.13 million hectares, which is 2.78% of the country's geographical area. The total forest and tree cover is estimated at 24.01%. Reporting about the mangroves in India, the report says that mangroves cover in the country has decreased by 34 square kilometer. Gujarat accounted for the largest increase in mangrove cover at 45%. The report is based on analysis of LISS-3 sensor data of indigenous resources at 2 satellite along with extensive field research and data collected through ground studies. Forest Survey of India has been assessing the forest and tree resources of our country on a biennial basis since 1987.
Alright, let's move on now. India's Mars Orbiter spacecraft has successfully completed 2/3, that is 75% of its journey towards Mars. As on 3rd of July, the spacecraft has covered a distance of approximately 510 million kilometers on its heliocentric path towards Mars. The spacecraft is programmed to reach Mars on 24th of September 2014. Here is a report.
Slowly approaching its destination, India's Mars orbiter spacecraft has completed 75% of its journey. The spacecraft is programmed to reach Mars on September 24 this year. So far, the spacecraft has covered a distance of approximately 510 million kilometers on its heliocentric path towards Mars. Thus, 3/4 of the 300-day voyage in deep space to Mars has been completed. According to ISRO, the Mars orbiter and its payloads are all technically functioning properly. In the last crucial milestone, ISRO performed the second trajectory correction maneuver on its Mars orbiter spacecraft on July 11th by firing the spacecraft's 22 Newton thrusters for 16 seconds. This was done to keep the spacecraft on course. Another trajectory correction maneuver is planned for August before ISRO performs the Mars orbiter insertion in September. The ambitious Mars mission under a Rs 450 crore project was launched from Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh on board the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle on November 5th last year. Once the spacecraft reaches the Red Planet on 24th September this year, it is expected to provide the scientific community with vital data for gaining better understanding of the planet and space.
The coming days require the buildings to not only be modern but also eco-friendly. Towards this end, the Energy and Resource Institute, that is TERI, signed an MOU with the US Green Building Council. The MOU aims at accelerating collaborations for promoting high-performance, eco-friendly buildings in India and Southeast Asia.
With the aim of accelerating collaborations for promoting high-performance buildings in India and Southeast Asia, the Energy and Resource Institute, TERI, signed a MOU with the US Green Building Council on July 7th. The event was hosted by the TERI University, Delhi, and was inaugurated by Dr. R.K. Pachauri, Director General TERI. Dr. R.K. Pachauri and Mahesh Ramanujam, Chief Operating Officer of USGBC, President of GBCI, signed the MOU. The MOU aims to promote and implement the best practices towards ensuring efficient designs along with construction and operation of high-performance buildings. The partnership will focus both on existing buildings as well as new constructions.
Today's agreement is primarily focused on three things. One is existing buildings. The buildings that have been already built in India needs a lot of work, because the challenge in making a building green that is already existing is many. Starts from budget to resources to constraints, and most importantly, you have to work hard to undo some of the things that has been already built or to make it better. So that's first objective, is to basically come up with a methodology or a rating system that will make that process easier. The second part is that we are always talking about design, construction, but we need to focus on operations. When we say operations, we want to be able to measure whether really green buildings work or not. How do we know green buildings are working or not? So we are putting a lot of emphasis on performance. So we are going to be collaborating on deploying the performance score for every building, a green building in India to start with. That is the second point.
Speaking on the occasion, Dr. Pachauri said that TERI's partnership with USGBC will help conquer global challenges. He also stressed on the need to build efficient structures for development, specifying the similarity of goals between TERI and USGBC.
The US Green Building Council, we are going to work together. You know, they have been working with the lead system of rating of buildings. We in India have developed our own indigenous system called Griha, which I believe is far more suitable to our local conditions. So we are going to be working together because after all we have common objectives. The objectives are that we must promote green buildings all over the world. We have also agreed to work together in other countries. So the whole purpose is to see that we both jointly and on our own are able to achieve the objectives of much greener, cleaner, more energy efficient buildings than what we have seen in the past.
while Mr. Ramanujam explained the green building concept focusing on the construction of structures designed for sustainable energy usage. Presentations aimed at explaining the concept of TERI's Green Rating for Integral Habitat Assessment or the GRIHA and USGBC's Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design or the LEAD program were made. Both GRIHA and LEAD share similar goals. It was stated that the collaboration is a global regional program which is meant to improve global standards by regional efforts.
Time to take a very short break here. We'll be back with more science news. Stay tuned. Welcome back after the break. You're watching Science Monitor. And in our next segment, Science Express, let us now take a look at some important science and technology related activities happening in India and abroad.
India successfully test-fired an advanced version of the 290km range BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles on 8 July at 10:38 am. The missile was tested from Chandipur in Balasore off the coast of Odisha. It is one of the fastest cruise missiles in the world and is capable of carrying a conventional warhead of 300 kilograms and can be launched from ships, aircrafts and submarines. Information and Broadcasting Minister Mr. Prakash Javadekar has informed the media that DD Kisan, the 24-hour TV channel dedicated to farmers, will be launched soon. The government is working with the Prasar Bharati towards finalizing the plans. The channel dedicated to agriculture and related issues aims to reach out to the Indian farmer community and provide information related to aspects like weather forecast and seeds. In another step to promote sustainable energy resources, Norway has extended support to a project to electrify 28 villages with solar mini-grid plants in Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand and Jammu and Kashmir. This was stated by Shri Piyush Goyal, Minister of State for Power, Coal and New and Renewable Energy, Independent Charge, adding that the ministry is supporting state governments to exploit solar potential under off-grid and decentralized solar applications scheme of Jawaharlal Nehru National Solar Mission. The ministry provides 30% capital subsidy which ranges from ₹27 per WP to ₹135 per WP for installation of solar PV systems and power plants. In special category states like northeastern states, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar, the ministry provides 90% capital subsidy which ranges from ₹81 WP to ₹405 WP for government organization. The Central Groundwater Board and Indian Institute of Remote Sensing on 9 July signed the Memorandum of Understanding to facilitate a collaborative study to assess the impact of groundwater abstraction on land subsidence in North India. First of its kind in India, this study aims to identify the hotspots affected by over-exploitation of groundwater. The study involves state-of-art technologies such as space-borne geodetic observation on land subsidence, predictive modeling, intercomparison of land subsidence, groundwater depletion, space-based gravity anomaly, etc. The study will give an idea of the groundwater depletion levels along with strategies needed to recharge the water table.
And the much-awaited monsoons are here. While monsoon is a season of celebration and cheer in India, it also brings with it infections of many kinds, ranging from mild allergies to serious stomach infections. In today's segment In Focus, we will have a look at these seasonal infections and also how to prevent them.
While monsoon brings the much-awaited relief from the scorching heat of summer, the rains also brings with it a host of health problems. These may range from mild allergies and respiratory infections to serious stomach disorders and calls for great precaution during the rains. The most common and familiar, needless to say, is the common cold and flu caused by the variation in the temperature. While cold physically starts with a sore throat and runny nose and lasts only for a few days, flu shows more severe symptoms like sore throat, fever, headache, muscle aches and soreness, congestion and cough and last for a week or more. In severe cases, flu may even complicate and give rise to pneumonia, especially in children and elderly. Infection like cholera caused by the bacteria called Vibrio cholera and typhoid caused by Salmonella typhi are common infections during the rains. Both these infections spread through contaminated food and water. People infected with cholera experience severe diarrhea along with vomiting and other signs leading to dehydration, while patients of typhoid suffer from severe fever, body and headache, diarrhea and stomach pain. Diseases spread by mosquitoes like dengue and chikungunya are also very common during the rainy season. They are viral infections spread through Aedes aegypti mosquito, which breeds in stagnant water. Symptoms of dengue are same as that of flu along with body rashes. Other symptoms of the disease include high fever, joint and muscle pains and vomiting. Dengue may also lead to hemorrhagic fever, which causes bleeding from the nose, gums or even under your skin. Symptoms of chikungunya are similar to dengue. These include high fever, swelling and stiffness of joints, muscular pains, headaches, fatigue, nausea and rashes. Leptospirosis is a less familiar name but a common infection during the rains, especially in areas with floodwater. This disease is severe infection caused by the Leptospira virus. People can get infected with this virus by having contact with water or soil contaminated with urine of animals like rats, skunks, foxes and other pests. While mild leptospirosis exhibits symptoms such as muscle pains, chills, headache, redness of the eyes, abdominal pain and jaundice, severe leptospirosis has the risk of organ failure and internal hemorrhage. Besides these, fungal infections and allergies of the skin, especially in legs due to humidity, are also very common during the rains. Though alarming, experts suggest some simple measures that can keep these infections at bay. The most effective thing that one can do is to keep themselves dry during the rains, and umbrellas and raincoats should always be kept handy while going out in the rainy season. The other important thing is cleanliness. One should always wash hands regularly and use a sanitizer to prevent spread of infections. Taking a shower is advisable if one is caught in rain. It washes away microbes and protects from getting infected. Doctors suggest that intake of vitamin C either in natural form or as food supplement to build immunity against common ailments like cold. Nutritious and freshly prepared food should be eaten and eating out should be avoided during rainy season. For dehydration, one should take hot fluids like soup and hot milk, and one should only drink boiled and purified water. Last but not the least, breeding of mosquitoes should be avoided by keeping your surroundings clean to prevent diseases like dengue and chikungunya.
And what has been contribution of science to this week's history? We shall find out in our next segment, History of Science.
French physician and bacteriologist Albert Calmetti was born on 12 July 1863 in Nice, France. He graduated in medicine in 1886. In 1891, he founded the Pasteur Institute at Saigon, Indochina, where he discovered a protective serum against snake venom. In 1908, he discovered that virulent bovine tubercle bacilli became less virulent when cultured on a bile-containing medium. These attenuated bacilli were still able to confer a certain amount of immunity against infections with either bovine or human tubercle bacilli. This avirulent stain was used to make BCG, which was introduced about 15 years later for the vaccination of children against tuberculosis. Calmetti also invented a diagnostic test for tuberculosis known as Calmetti's reaction. On 15 July 1956, Ashok Sen was born in Calcutta, West Bengal. He completed his graduation from Presidency College in Kolkata in 1975. He worked on string theory and researched on the duality of the string theory. He established that supersymmetric theories would require the existence of certain self-reinforcing solitary waves with electric and magnetic charges. He co-discovered the strong-weak duality and proposed a successful explanation of open string tachyon condensation. He also wrote many papers on string field theory. On 16 July 1929, the Indian Council of Agricultural Research (ICAR) was set up. ICAR is an autonomous apex international organization which plans, conducts and promotes research, education, training and transfer of technology for advancement of agriculture and allied sciences. It works on the production of food and tackles other emerging problems in agriculture to meet the growing demands for food, fodder, fiber and fuel. ICAR is a repository of information and provides consultancy on agriculture, horticulture, resource management, animal sciences, agricultural engineering, fisheries, agricultural education and agricultural communication. The Council has a large infrastructure to meet agricultural research and agricultural education needs of the country. On 17 July 1911, Rustam Jal Vakil was born in Mumbai, India. He was the most sought-after cardiologist of India who obtained his education from the Elphinstone College and the Royal Institute of Medicine in Mumbai. He established the therapeutic value of rizapine extracted from the roots of the plant Rauwolfia serpentia. Vakil introduced ancient folk remedies of the East into Western medicine. He established rizapine, which is used in Ayurveda for hundreds of years, as the first proven remedy for high blood pressure into Western medicine, and inspired new and successful lines of treating both heart and mental or emotional ailments.
That is all in this edition of Science Monitor. Do tell us, how do you like our program? Well, you can send your feedback and suggestions on our email ID. Our email ID is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write in to us at Vigyan Prasar C24, Qutub Institutional Area, New Delhi 110016. That is all in today's edition of Science Monitor. We'll be back with more news on science and technology next week. Till then, take care and bye-bye.